Hello. Welcome to your Monday message from the Rose Center and me, Dr. Jen. I just did an entire video for you, and you know what I did? I pressed quit instead of stop video. So you know where it went? I don't know either. It's gone. Super annoying. So I'm going to do it again, and it's going to be better. So welcome to your mental health tip of the week. This is your Monday message. And the it was hard for me to figure out what to do because I have so many that I'd like to say, and I couldn't decide which one for a while, so it took me most of today. So sorry, it's late if you've been waiting with bated breath of what your Monday message was going to be. It's okay, it's still Monday. It's just 3 o'clock. So your Monday message for today is to chunk it. Yeah, chunk it. What does that mean? You're going to chunk your time. And the reason why, okay, so you know how last week in the Monday message we were talking about losing your expectations, not even like lessening them, but just throwing them out because it's totally uncharted waters and no one knows what's happening. And we're just going through every day and doing the best that we can. And if you have fewer or no expectations, then there's way less guilt and feeling badly about yourself because you're honestly just doing the best you can. So that was last week's message. You can go back and listen to it. But in that, we talked about how you can't be everything. You can't be the same kind of employee that you were before, or business owner, or the same kind of parent, or the same kind of family member and spouse or partner, because you just can't do all of those things at the same time at home, right? And so it used to be that you would have, for example, if you have kids in your life, it used to be that they would go away to this thing called school, this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing called school. It was a place, it was a destination. They would go away, and then you would get to stuff done, whatever it was, and then they would come back, and then you would be with them. Remember those days? So our new reality is much different. And because of that, what you need to do is to chunk your time. You're not going to be able to do a 6-hour chunk of distance learning, for example. Remember when we thought that, when we were like, they were telling us they were going to do distance learning. We were like, okay, great. Well, these wonderful teachers will just be with our kids online for 6 hours. And then we realized pretty much immediately that they are chunking their time, right, into a smaller, more condensed piece of time. And that's what we need to do for all aspects of our life. So gone are the days where you're going to be able to have a day full of errands and cleaning and making the house be the way you want, or going and doing work projects, or going for a, 8-mile hike or walk somewhere and do that for hours and love it. We have to condense into chunks the things that are important in our day. But if you do that and you accomplish, you'll be more likely to accomplish them. And if you're more likely to accomplish them, you're more likely to feel like you're on top of your crap, in a good way, and that you are doing what you need to be doing and accomplished. And that feels really good. So chunking your time means that you're going to want to take a look at occupational wellness, for example. So let me back up and say, don't forget that there are 8 areas of wellness, and physical, mental, social, spiritual, occupational, environmental, intellectual, and financial. And so you want to make sure that when you're chunking your time, that you have a chunk of each of those areas of wellness in your time. So for occupational wellness, for example, you might have somebody else who is watching your kids or engaging your kids if you have kids. Or if you don't have kids, then you might be able to chunk truly like a lot of hours all at once in your work life. But if you don't, if you have other stressors or other things that you need to do with your time, you might chunk it into 3 or 4 different chunks throughout the day. But the idea is to be mindful about, all right, I'm going to take a chunk of time and do just this. So if you're doing environmental wellness, you're saying, I'm going to go outside and go for a walk. Then I'm going to just focus on that for that chunk of time. Does that make sense? So when you're looking at your day, instead of saying, well, I'm going to try to get all of these things done, the likelihood might be not so great that you would get them done. A better approach is to chunk a little bit of time for each thing. So family time, obviously your family is with you all day now in the house, but you're still going to chunk some focused family time, whether it's playing a game or listening to music or cooking dinner together. It's still a family time chunk. Does that make sense? So the more you chunk it, the happier you will be. chunk it. That's your mental health tip for the day. So you guys can go off and enjoy your day now, or you can stick around and listen to another message I have directly for those of you who have been writing into me. And that is to say that a lot of people have been writing in and asking how I'm doing, which is so nice of you. A lot of my friends are coming in and asking because, I am a therapist. And so, like all mental health counselors, we are quite busy now helping people with their anxiety and their sometimes despair and their fears and just generally being overwhelmed and unsure, uncertain. And so, that's a wonderful job, and it does take a good amount of time. And so people have been checking in and just saying, how are you doing? Which is very lovely. And so what I will say is that first of all, I'm doing great, thanks. And still loving my job, so that's good. But also, I've had some great help. And the help is that I'll tell you a little secret about mental health counselors, and that is that the way that we handle the workload and the content of the workload, which can sometimes be heavy, is to balance that out with family and friends and other things in our personal lives that can ground us and restore us and refresh us and get us ready for more. And I, this week, have been particularly helped by family members who have really helped to kind of occupy my everything with some extra special moments, like my one daughter who decided to paint her entire room white, and which smelled great, first of all, so that was helpful. And then it started to rain, so she brought her newly painted furniture inside the house and put it close together, so it created sort of like a little tunnel, which was really, really enticing to our cat, who used to be black and is now white. So helpful. Our dog, also very helpful, decided to, for the first time, chew a shoe, but decided that the best room to do that would be the room that has this super long shag carpet. So there are little shards of shoe everywhere that I had to vacuum up for hours. Great. Also, someone peed on the same rug. I'm hoping it's one of the animals. And then later, also the same rug had another daughter who smashed a light bulb right in there. So helpful. Actually, that same daughter also gave herself a haircut, which so helpful, right? You might think, as I did, that she cut her hair from the bottom, because I think that that's pretty much what most people do when they give a haircut. No, she cut her hair from the top. Yeah. So she got a little buzz cut at the top, super long hair. So great. So psyched about that. That was great and helpful. And I'm forgetting something. Oh yeah. And then my husband was away last week, so that was super helpful. And bonus, he was out of state. So when he returned, he's now on a mandatory 14-day quarantine in another part of the house, unable to help with anything. So also, so helpful. My family. Just really driving home the balance that I needed. So that's how I'm doing. Anyone else? Similar stories? Yeah. So the other mental health tip of the day, don't lose your humor, people. Don't lose it. You need it now more than ever. Can you feel it coming in? You just gotta inhale that humor. Inhale it and have it with you all day long. Stay sane, friends. I will see you next week for the next installment of The Monday Message. Have a great day. I am not going to hit quit. Watch me now. Hit stop. Here I go.